Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked. Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. We broadcast 2 hours from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. And if you'd like to call us, we will pay for the call. And we're delighted to do so. 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. Nathan is engineering the broadcast in Minnesota. And Captain John Ragan's with us for part 2. We started yesterday part 1 of bad news and news you need to know, and today's part 2. Welcome, Captain John Ragan.
Good morning, Vincent.
Good morning, John Ragan. I should call it disturbing news. So, John, you want to start with, well, let's start with the weather. What happened in Texas? You had an incident on the highways?
Yeah, one of the 18-wheelers got blown over in the Metroplex overnight. We had, I think, straight line winds of around 50 miles an hour, and there was mild tornadic activity in the EF0 to maybe EF1 range. So it in the scheme of things, it wasn't bad. You know, it's on the low end of severity. We have approximately 30,000 customers, which customers means locations, so it involves more people than that, but 30,000 without power in North Texas. So, you know, it wasn't a calm overnight, but it wasn't a severe disaster either.
Mm-hmm. And from your perspective, in order to stay connected at the broadcast, you are running on uninterruptible power, which is great. Now, if I get disconnected, what happens here is lightning takes down the network connection, and it's not me; it's the provider, you know, the service provider. So if I get disconnected during this broadcast, typically the telephone line stays up and running. So what'll happen is I will call in immediately as soon as I realize I'm disconnected. And I have a screen that tells me how things are going. It tells me about the modulation on my end, the modulation on your end, and it tells me things like, let's see, it tells me the statistics about the delay and, you know, how long it takes the signal to get from the studio here in Missouri to Genesis Communications Network. And right now it's taking 296 milliseconds, or 296 thousandths of a second, you know, almost just under a third of a second. So I'm looking at that, and everything looks fine, and we're not losing any frames, so things are looking good on this end. But we have some thunder, and we have some lightning, and that could take us down for a short time. We'll be right back if that does happen. It's raining here like, it's kind of nice. It's a lot of rain. It's filling up the ponds, which is good for the cows, because what we have is a cattle waterer attached to a pond. What happens is the pond fills with water. The pond is fenced, so this particular pond, so the cows can't get into it, and their water is then sent downhill to a concrete vault, if you will, that has an opening with a float control valve, so the water goes into this big 300-gallon tank, and they can stick their head inside a small opening and drink. and not waste water. So that's kind of neat. And by the way, I wanted to share with our class, we had a couple years ago, we had a drought, and the pond got really low. This particular pond that we use for cattle watering, with the cattle waterer attached to the pond via pipe underground. Well, the ground cracked, and the pond started leaking. And I learned that there's this really neat device that it's called a sheep's foot roller. And it's this great big roller, like might be called a steamroller in the old days, where a road would be rolled out flat. Well, this thing has little feet that stick out like little fists, and it punches down into the ground if the ground is soft, and that's what you use to fix a leaking pond. Well, I don't have one of those. So what I did, well, I do have some cow's feet instead of sheep's feet. And I opened up the fence so that the cows could go swimming in the pond, and they did. And they're walking through the pond, and they plugged all the holes, which is absolutely great. So I let them do that over the summer, and they fixed the pond for me, and it was very nice of them. So if you have that kind of a problem, and you happen to have an animal that can walk in the water and won't get stuck in the mud, you might want to try that. Just one farming tip that you might be interested in. So, John, where do you want to start today?
Well, we'll start in the financial section, but before we get off weather, at the 7 o'clock update this morning on the local news, we officially are now the third wettest year on record in the Metroplex here, and we still have a month and a half to go.
Well,
so it's been a soaker. Unfortunately, it hasn't been spread out. We've had a couple of periods of extremely heavy rain.
I wonder how these meetings work. Do these governors go and go to meetings and discuss who's going to get how much rain? I mean, do you think they do that? Do you think nobody likes Jerry Brown, and and they're not letting him have any rain? You think that might be it? Or do you think these guys are pressured to give up their rain? They think they have pictures of Jerry Brown in compromising positions, so he really doesn't have much influence over how much rain he gets. I wonder how all of this works. Or are we just trying to drive everybody out of California? Okay, ready when you are, John.
Okay, and just to give you advance notice, when we get down to the last one, everything's fine down under. I'm going to want you to comment on some of that. And there's some pictures in there, so I want to make sure you've got time to get that one loaded. In the meantime, we talked about aluminum yesterday. If things don't change, we're getting ready to lose the aluminum industry here in the United States. Who needs the war supplies and jobs anyway? There's so many indicators of just how bad things are, not only here but around the world.
John, you're talking about, one second, you're talking about aluminum. And I've been watching this video about the nature of Earth, an introduction to geology. I mentioned Professor John J. Renton, West Virginia University. And he said something kind of startling. He was talking about the periodic table, and, we use aluminum because it's light, and it's really great for aircraft and even cattle trailers. It's great for that because as the cows urinate, the urine doesn't seem to deteriorate aluminum as quickly as it does steel. Most cattle trailers are made out of steel, and during transportation, the cows poop and pee, and it rusts the under chassis of these cattle trailers. And so aluminum is great for that. Aluminum is great for cans. Aluminum is great for aircraft. And Professor Renton said something really interesting. He said, we could make airplanes out of lead. We don't have to make them out of aluminum. We could make them out of lead. It's just that we'd have to drive them from airport to airport. And I was just trying to share a little bit of humor that he had with why we use some of the materials we use, because of their durability and their weight and their strength and so forth. So is there a substitute for aluminum? I don't know. I mean, you can substitute plastic in some applications, but not all applications. I certainly don't want a plastic cattle trailer. I certainly don't want to fly in a plastic airplane. And I don't want to drive a tractor that's got a plastic frame. I really don't. So just a few short comments about why we use what we use.
Well, the official definition of recession is having 2 quarters of negative GDP in a row. And there's a lot of places around the world that already meet that. The problem in the United States is they redefine the way they measure GDP. So when you look at the numbers that they release, you need to subtract about 3% from that. And based on that, yes, the United States is already in recession. But because they've got the fake numbers, they continue to tell us that everything's just fine. However, when you look at other indicators which are more truthful, they still might be manipulated, we find different things. And I'm looking at the second link in the financial section. The last 2 times business inventories were this high relative to sales, the United States was in a recession. And they've got a chart there, and you can see the color coding for the official recession time frames. And it is now touched that point where any higher, there was absolutely not a time this century that we were not in recession, and it's on a nice trajectory up. And we'll continue with social insecurity when we get back.
Yeah, and baby boomers, a lot of us are looking into that right now. These aren't great times, The outlook isn't all that good. And so I suggest that you prepare, but don't waste any money buying presents. Buy only what you need. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I have an important message. Right now, the highest levels of government are struggling against an inevitable crisis, but they're about to lose control. When this happens, it will rip our country apart in ways you never imagined, from where we shop to the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. A few years ago, I warned that the housing prices would collapse. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash, and they did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves. But this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all. I've posted a free video at $downfall.com. Maybe you'll disagree with my conclusions, but first you need to watch this video and see the facts for yourself. You can watch the video for free right now by going to $downfall.com. Again, that's $downfall.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with Whipple Office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares unfiltered and untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
Captain John Ragan's with us, and I want to thank Silent Night for guest hosting the meetup last night. Thank you so much, Silent Night. We have a meetup every Monday, and I can't get away for all of them. I do the best I can, but the farm is taking more and more of my time. And Silent Night, author, and he's been on the air with us, USA Prepares instructor. He's helped us out a great deal. Thank you so much, Silent Night. Social insecurity, John Ragan.
Well, Congress recently changed some Social Security and Medicare provisions for better or worse, or is it for better and worse? And they closed a couple of loopholes. I don't really consider that a big deal. One of the big things they did, though, was they addressed the Social Security disability problem because it was about ready to run out of money next year, which meant that it could only pay out what it took in for that part of the program. And it would have resulted in a cut, I think it was 17% in benefits. So what they decided to do is, instead of having a pot for disability and a pot for old age and survivors, they're just mixing the pots. So that means that number that we had a few months ago, I think it was 2037, 2038, somewhere around there, they said was going to run out. And I said, no, we're going to run out before then. But it's going to definitely be before then now, because Social Security disability is now, in essence, robbing from old age and survivors. They also rolled back some of the big increase on Medicare for this next year. People paying out of their Social Security benefits technically would not have seen an increase. That's about 70% of the people on Medicare, because there's a provision that states that if there's that protects the Social Security recipients, that if Medicare increases, but the Social Security doesn't get an increase, like they're getting 0% cost of living because there's no inflation, they'll be paying the same thing next year. However,
John,
yes,
their numbers, government numbers, just reported today. As a matter of fact, during top of the hour news, inflation is at 1% using their numbers, and the Fed is reportedly targeting inflation at 2%. So the Fed is engineering, according to their numbers, 2% inflation, which is nonsense. I mean, absolute nonsense. My understanding is that food is up 60% over less than 5 years, right? Food is going up like crazy. And we all have to eat.
Yeah, and if you're on Social Security, you probably don't care as much about gasoline as when you had to commute to work. But unless you're fortunate enough to own a home without a mortgage, you're probably paying rent, and you also have to eat. And rent and food are experiencing price increases. It's not all inflation. There's supply and demand issues as well. But it still boils down to that there's a lot less to pay out of a shrinking paycheck.
Yeah, and medical care costs, if you want to call it medical care, it keeps going up as well.
Yes,
and John, people I know are looking at doing things like, well, let's try to back our insurance costs down for our automobiles and light trucks. So let's just go with liability. Forget comprehensive and collision. Forget that. Homeowners, let's scale that down, or let's not have it if we own our homes free and clear. So people are trying to drive their costs down as much as possible, and it's still tough. And I know that's what we're doing. We've driven our electricity costs down to $80 a month, which I think is really, really good for trying to run a business. But my target was $60, and actually I want to take that to $0. Captain John Ragan is with us, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. Please click on the News tab and follow along in class with us today. I'm Vincent Finelli.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
I want to be able to smoke inside, cut down on cigarettes, jog without wheezing, be kissable, and save money.
Then you want LeSig e-cigarettes. Get the highest quality, best tasting vaping experience on the market with unmatched customer service from LeSig. And right now, gobble up this deal. Buy $30 worth of any products and get a starter kit for only $5. Use code SK at checkout. But hurry, offer good only until Thanksgiving at LeSig.com. LeCig.com. Kick some ash with LeSig.
Your house is under attack. Every day, our homes and families are attacked by harmful gases, mold, and pollutants caused by everyday activities. According to the EPA, indoor air can be 5 to 100 times worse than outdoor air. And the American Lung Association states that poor indoor air can cause infections and chronic lung diseases such as asthma. Protect your family with a complete indoor air quality package from Wave Home Solutions. Wave ventilation units for basements and crawl spaces reduce moisture that nourishes mold, odors, dust mites, and expels gases and pollutants. Add the Wave 6-stage air purifier to get rid of the viruses, chemicals, and pollutants upstairs for a complete indoor air quality solution. A healthy home is the best investment you can make. Visit WaveHomeSolutions.com. That's WaveHomeSolutions.com or call 888-758-WAVE. That's 888-758-WAVE.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX or my website, danpilla.com.
Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and bad tweets can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. It happens a lot, and it's just not fair. But what can you do? Reputation.com can protect your good name. Get a free consultation now at 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Call right now for a free expert reputation analysis. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get your free reputation analysis from Reputation.com right now. Call 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771.
A lot of people's lives and bodies are out of balance. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops optimize pH level and get rid of harmful waste and acid. Just a few drops in water restores vibrance and energy and gets you back in balance. Now order 2 bottles and get $10 off your order. Sign up for monthly auto shipping and save 25%. Call 800-518-7615 or visit alkavision.com. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
Captain John Ragan's with us, and if you'd like to follow thefinancialstateoftheunion.com, please click on the news tab. All right, John, what's next?
I just want to wrap up social insecurity on the Medicare Part B. Beneficiaries will also have to pay an additional $3 a month to help pay down a loan the government gave to Medicare to offset lost revenue. And Part B beneficiaries will see their annual deductible increase by 15%. So overall, I think Congress probably managed to only have retirees upset with the government instead of really ticked for this election season.
Well, 15% is a huge number. You know, if you saw your gasoline price go up 15%, all of a sudden it'd be a huge number. You saw the price of food that you buy go up 15%, it's a huge number. It really is. I don't like these inflationary costs. They bother me. You know, we didn't always have inflation, John. You know, there was a time when prices were flat. Now we have to buy things in advance because we know they're going to cost more later.
Well, that was back in the time when we had real money, too. Once they got rid of that, then they don't have much choice. And it's pretty easy to see if you didn't have a transition and you just started up and you had this bank and the government says, okay, we need $100 to make the economy work. So the bank gives the government $100 to pass out, and there's, just say a 5% interest charge on that. So you come back a year later and, well, we still probably need 100, maybe possibly a little bit more to make the economy work, but you got to pay the bank $5 in interest now, but you can only pay it back out of what you had, so you have to take out a loan to cover the interest. And that can only go on for so long, and we're finally getting to that point in the cycle, since we've had the Federal Reserve for a bit over a century, that the money's practically worthless, and we're quickly getting to the point where all we're going to do is be paying interest on fictitious money. And these next three articles point out that the contagion is now spreading to the upper middle class and the lower upper class. We have Rolls-Royce issuing a profit warning, and the headline, quote, faces near-death experience. We have Nordstrom having pathetic results, and Macy's are seeing same-store sales tumble, and they are cutting their future expectations as well. So the people that have a little money and pretending that they have more than people think they do, or the ones that have enough where they display the shopping bags so that people think that they've got money.
You're talking about those in Hollywood, right? Yeah, they have a really fancy bag with one item in it. Yeah, now I've seen those images on the internet, and I think about, I shop at places where you don't even get a plastic bag. I'm talking about one of those things that you could just open up and hold it in your hand, and it's so light it'll fly away. Well, I shop at places that don't even have those bags. And one of the places that I really like, and let's give them a plug, Aldi, A-L-D-I. Probably the only business that Walmart is concerned about, Aldi. And if you go to Aldi, it's a supermarket or a food store. It's small. And their cash register clerks do everything. They stock the shelves. They know where everything is. They can check out faster. If there were the Olympics of cashiers, they would win. They would absolutely win. They are faster than any other store. And if you want a bag, you either are going to buy one from them or you're going to bring your own. But what they do is they use boxes that the food would come in. So let's say you wanted to buy something that was big and puffy, like potato chips. So you, on your way in, if you see an empty potato chip box, it's just boxes stacked on pallets on the floor. Just pick one of them up, pick up an empty box, start putting your food in it, because you might need that to take your, the items that you bought home, so they don't roll around in your trunk. Or you bring your own boxes, or you bring your own bags, or you buy them. So, and they don't even have to worry about picking up carts in the parking lot, because you go to get a cart from them, and you put a quarter in this slot, and it will release a cart. And when you return the cart to the same place you got it, you'll get a quarter back. So they even have the customers policing the parking lot to get the carts to return. And no one leaves carts around, or hardly anybody, because they'd lose a quarter doing so. So it's kind of like a deposit on a cart. It works great. So that's Aldi. I suggest all of our class consider buying food from one of the same places that I do, Aldi. Please continue, John.
I've got a couple of links for McDolalds.
By the way, do you shop at Aldi? Do you shop at Aldi, John?
Not normally. I may start checking them out, but I've been taking advantage of the shopper loyalty spy card to save money.
Oh, do you use your own name, or do you make up a name?
Well, unfortunately, I've had this for probably about 15 years. So
okay, I make up names. I make up names. I do, all kinds of names, famous names. So if you're going to use a shopper loyalty card, class, I suggest you make up a name and try to remember some address that is someplace else, and And my phone number, I can never remember my phone number. I get transpositions all the time. So I don't know if those numbers work. I just, they say, oh, I need a phone number. And okay, I'll give you a phone number. So I give them a phone number. Not necessarily one that works, but a phone number. So shopper loyalty cards, and you can get new ones all the time. And if I want to get one, I'll get a new one. And sometimes they have names that you can't even pronounce. And nobody looks at them. They don't say, Mr. How do you pronounce that? I don't know either. John, if you could just hold that thought for a second. Michael in New York, welcome. Hey, Michael.
Guys. Good morning.
Hey, Michael. I was thinking before you continue, I was getting a cup of coffee yesterday afternoon, right after the show, and I was thinking about what you said about those targets. So what you meant is if there's like a dangerous predator that is ready to attack maybe some famous person, and so these guys are side by side, and the idea is not to hit the famous person, but to hit. Right. Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure I got that right.
You may have some collateral damage as you adjust your sights, but eventually you'll get those wolves. Eventually you'll be able to protect those saintly politicians. And but there may be some collateral damage just in the beginning as you got to adjust the sights, the wind, all that.
The windage. Yeah, the windage. Right. You got to make sure that you shoot.
Right.
Yeah.
So you may.
And by the way, Mike Parsons is probably listening. he's gonna tell us about how good wolves are, and they really are nice animals. So
yes, they are.
Let's say, well, actually, maybe we're looking at this all wrong. Maybe we should be protecting the animals from the politicians. So
I'm all for that.
So please continue.
I wouldn't say mountain lions either because they're good animals. I could tame any of them and live with them with no problem. So I agree with that. And I was going to start off with saying, hey, regarding those targets, but now that for great Christmas Patriot presents. But John, I was wondering, John, right now with your all the data you've been studying. What's your take on the shortages with mines maybe starting to wind down due to the feasibility issue with production? And when do you foresee any of that occurring in the near future? Because as I stated in the past, I believe once you get your food and your bullets and ammo and all that in place, then the precious metals will be the next thing for everybody to consider. And also, regarding junk metals laying around going to the scrapyard, I would recommend you keep accumulating for that timing when the shortages and the demand for it increase, and then you're going to get much more at the scrapyard for that kind of stuff. And but in particular, you're not just gold and silver, but those copper bullions, which are stunningly beautiful. They're all American, typically out of Ohio, with the mining and maybe the minting as well. And I really believe that they're going to be really valuable as well for small purchases, maybe right now, eventually worth $10 a coin relative to the Federal Reserve note, somewhere around there. But in order to bring all this about, there has to be increase in the value of all that, and I would expect due to a shortage of supply and with the mining and all that. So, John, do you have a take on that?
Okay, there's several factors in there, and it's going to be a long answer, so that you're going to have to wait a bit until I get to that part of my report for the full answer. But on the short-term area here, when we're in this deflationary cycle with these commodities, that puts extreme pressure on these miners, and we're probably going to see a lot of problems in that area over the next few months. Now, the question is, since they can't afford to put out this product at a loss, and get into the rest of it after the break.
Okay, Michael, hold with us if you can, and
Sure.
John's going to have some answers. And then a little later he's going to talk about surplus equipment, and so there'll be some answers there. And I've got a comment about metal. Now, you talked about metal and copper and precious metals. I'd like to share my 2 cents about steel. We'll be right back. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
If you or someone you care about loves outdoor adventure, then check out slingbow.com for some unique holiday gift ideas. That's slingbow.com, where we have some innovative new products for the archer, hunter, or bow fishing enthusiast in your family. Now through January, use the promo code HOLIDAY to get free shipping in the U.S. or Canada. And from all of us at Slingbow Industries, have a safe, joyous, and peaceful holiday season. So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Thousands of people seeking home security get ripped off every day, and the home security industry wants you to believe that's your only option. They've got hordes of salesmen out there trying to scare you into signing one of their long-term contracts. You get stuck writing huge checks month after month with no way out. It's robbery by contract, and it can cost you thousands. But there's a better way to protect your home. Simply Safe Home Security. Simply Safe has no contracts. None. You'll get award-winning 24/7 protection. Security professionals watching over your home, ready to instantly send police to the rescue for just $14.99 per month. That's less than half what most companies charge. Protect your home the smart way. Visit simplysafedefense.com today for an exclusive 10% offer and get a free keychain remote worth $25. Only when you go to simplysafedefense.com. simplysafedefense.com.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't take on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Don't take a cold or flu lying down. Stand up and fight back with Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver is a natural immune system booster that is highly effective against viruses, bacteria, and fungus. Supernatural Silver is perfect for daily use and can be taken orally or used topically to keep you protected from whatever comes your way. This new technology is hundreds of times more effective than colloidal or ionic silver and is supported by extensive research from over 300 clinical studies at universities and independent research facilities across the country. Supernatural Silver has an exceptionally long storage life and should be an essential part of your emergency preparedness. Don't be caught off guard. Give your body the support it needs to fight off deadly pathogens that are lurking everywhere. Stock up on Supernatural Silver and give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the promo code SILVER2015 for 20% off. That's supernaturalsilver.com. supernaturalsilver.com.
We use mobile devices right against our bodies every day, but growing scientific evidence has emerged showing serious health risks associated with exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The solution is Defender Shield, the most effective mobile radiation shielding ever developed. Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation from cell phones, tablets, and laptops, and starts at just $64.99. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. For 10% off, use promo code GCN. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in mobile radiation shielding.
Captain John Ragan's with us, the financialstateoftheunion.com. Michael's calling in. And John, please continue.
Okay, so we have these private miners out there right now. And then I look at the goals of the people wanting to take over the planet. So my speculation is that they can't afford to let these mines just disappear. So to me, the question is, do they go more the communist model where the state takes over the mine, or do they do some kind of socialist model where the mine's privately owned, but, for all practical purposes, it's controlled by the state? So that's what I'm looking for on that. And then there's another factor on diminishing returns. And I've got an article in my queue for next week. I still have to research it a bit more. That said that the Senate passed a bill for the mining of asteroids. And I've got to run that down. I know there's been discussion on the internet for some time about the mining of asteroids, and that seems outlandish because space operations are expensive. However, when you find out how quickly the return on mines are here on Earth, and the amount of energy that it takes to get to that material, then asteroid mining starts making sense. Does that give you an idea?
Let's see. Michael, you still there?
Yeah, as far as, that speculation, John, I think that's, very good. And also to consider that maybe they're going to just drive the miners, the private mines, out of business, and they'll just monopolize them along the lines of that you just provided, where maybe just, these monopolists just taking it over, driving them out, and just the way they do with their big corporations, drive out any small competition and then take it over. And so it's all curious, but I wanted to get your take because even, as we get a scrap metal accumulating, and sometimes I'm ready to go bring it in, and I keep thinking, it's going to be worth more down the road. I'm just not sure exactly when, and maybe worth a while just to leave it laying around, as long as it's not an eyesore to anybody, and just wait for that better opportunity to cash it all in. And even sometimes, once in a while, you see somebody down on their luck coming by, and I let them take some scrap metal to help them out. And we used to say years ago when I was a kid, used to work in the garbage business throwing cans when I was a youngster, and we used to say, your garbage is our bread and butter. And so that's, it's all relative out there. Even in one time when I was working on a pool, and next door the neighbor had a septic guy come in to clean up the septic. So I told my customer, I said, hey, Corey, we used to say in the garbage business, your garbage is our bread and butter. Start to laugh and say, now in that business over there, that septic guy must say, your is our bread and butter. So it's all relative. And but everybody out there collecting junk metal, I think it's going to be worth the while to wait a little longer before you scrap it.
All right. Michael, within the next week, I'm going to be buying some scrap metal. And the reason I'm buying it is because of exactly what you said. I needed to make some fences. I need it for fence corners. I need it for a lot of projects here at the farm. And I'm buying it now because I'm thinking that it's going to cost more later. I really believe that. And I want to make sure that I have it here for these projects that I need to do. Not want to do, need to do. I don't waste money, but I'm going to be buying some pipe and things like that. And if you go to Craigslist, you'll see pipe for sale. You'll even see well pipe for sale. And metal is being sold on Craigslist, exactly what you're talking about. And right now, the prices are somewhat reasonable. They've been lower. They've been a lot lower. But I want to make sure that we have the metal that we need for the projects here at the farm. Thanks so much for calling, Michael. And Captain John Ragan, I'll be right back after top of the hour news and commercial announcements. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Sciatica, lower back pain, hip pain, poor posture. If you suffer from any of these problems, get ready to relax. Introducing an amazing product that's been in the market for over 25 years, the Sacro Wedgie. It was invented by a football coach using a common-sense osteopath technique. He created this device to help his athletes by isolating and supporting the sacrum, which is the keystone of our anatomy. This wedge-shaped bone is in the center of our hips, where a lot of pain starts. Simply relax 20 minutes daily on the amazingly simple Sacro Wedgie and let gravity do the work, helping muscles rebalance and start releasing nerves. Sit in the Sacro Wedgie at the computer or while traveling to help correct posture to finally help relieve those stubborn aches and pains for only $33.95. It's made in the USA, so click the family-owned website at sacrowedgie.com, spelled SACROWEDGY.com, or call 1-800-737-9295. That's 1-800-737-9295. Relax your back pain away with the Sacro Wedgie.
So listen up here, guys. My buddy Mark, he overhears the management team at Guns80.com. And what they're saying is that between now and Black Friday, they're going to put a special on the website at Guns80.com every day. What that means is that you have to go to Guns80.com every day to check out the specials between now and Black Friday. Go to Guns80.com, but don't tell them you heard it from me.
My name's Clyde, age 59, and I reside in Florence, South Carolina. The doctors diagnosed me as having clogged arteries. It felt like I was carrying heavy concrete blocks around my feet and legs. I started taking Heart and Body Extract as directed. It is less than 3 weeks, and I'm like a young man again. It's unbelievable that an herbal formula can work so fast and so powerfully.
Learn the secrets of an effective, natural, 100% organic nutritional supplement for a healthy heart and circulation at hbextract.com.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked? Hour number 2 of EUSAPrepares.com. Captain John Ragan is with us. John, where shall we begin for this hour? Continue?
Well, let's have some fun with McDonald's here.
Yeah.
McDonald's, S&P has cut their bond rating to almost junk. That's why I got McJunk in the
right.
the title there. And all they have to do is 3 more rungs of the ladder to hit no longer being investment-grade securities. And the further you go down, that means the more you have to pay to borrow. So that's not good news for McDonald's. And the next one, I've got an idea that might help the McDonald's, at least the ones in Oregon. Maybe they should try the McJoint. In Oregon, there are now more marijuana shops than Starbucks or McDonald's. They just legalized over a month ago. There's 281 marijuana businesses in the state. There's 248 Starbucks and only 205 McDonald's. So there's already almost 50% marijuana shops than there are McDonald's. So I got this idea.
John, I think free enterprise is great. However, if we are in an altered state, how are we going to be productive? How can we possibly compete on the world stage? How can we possibly return to being the envy of the world if we're not 100% there? Wow. And this is all approved. I wonder what other countries' heads of state think about us. I really wonder. I mean, the ones that matter, the ones who have great products coming from their factories. I wonder what they really think of us. I wonder if they're laughing at us. You know, we're being brought down to our knees by ourselves.
Yeah, and our government's doing a great job of that.
Yeah.
But I had this thought.
So is Charlie Sheen. So are the actors and actresses in Hollywood. You know, we used to think that, boy, wouldn't it be nice to have a lifestyle like that? You look at Charlie Sheen. Man, what a disgrace.
Yeah, the lifestyle of the rich and famous.
Yeah. Yeah. And I keep, the name Barney Frank keeps coming to my mind. How could he possibly be in office, and who would reelect him? He's as queer as a $3 bill.
Well, it should have become clear way back when Senator Kennedy got away with murder.
You're talking about Ted Kennedy, Edward Kennedy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're talking about Chappaquiddick?
Yes, I am. Mm-hmm. And
Mary Jo Kopechne?
Once you reelect, after that, I think it's pretty much anything goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, they are certainly not subject to the same rules and regulations as we, the villagers, are, and it's outrageous. But, as things spiral down into the abyss, and when it becomes a free-for-all, it will be a free-for-all. And where are these guys going to go and hide?
I think the good news is they're not going to be in as good a shape as some of our class.
That's right. Because they're dependent. They actually don't produce anything. They really don't. They just tell us what to do. But they are not innovators. They are not producers. They are not farmers. They are just parasites. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and they're going to find out what worthless money means.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, if anybody from McDonald's in Oregon's listening, I think this would be a great opportunity if McDonald's started selling marijuana, and you had a smoking section, with internet that would keep them there long enough before the munchies kicked in, and damn, sales through the roof.
Well, maybe they could raise the prices, and many customers wouldn't even know. Just raise the prices, get everybody in there, and just start raising the prices right while they're there. What a great way to rip off their customers. Okay, what's next?
Now, let me run through the next four real quick so we can get to that last one. Walmart is going deep on inventory, thinking that having all these products in stock will attract customers during the shopping season. It's kind of like if you stock it, they will buy. That's not the problem. People are broke. So I think Walmart's going to be in the situation where they're going to have a lot of inventory to get rid of, which means deeper discounts to get rid of it, which I believe is going to translate in an even worse time. And let's just overlay something else here. You know how this administration has been poking China in addition to Russia. They've been, having flights and ships go as close as they can to these new islands that China's built up. And rather than start a hot war, what if China decided just to stop shipments of goods to the United States? How long would it be before Walmart would have to shut down because they don't have anything left on their shelves?
Well, they've got just-in-time inventory, so wouldn't it be tomorrow? I mean, if they stopped shipping today and the stores got no restocking, wouldn't they be going out of business starting tomorrow?
It would happen rather quickly.
Mm-hmm. Well, certainly within a couple of weeks.
And elsewhere, Apple cuts component orders by 10% due to weak iPhone sales. So that affects China, too, because that's where a lot of the components come from. Mm-hmm. Wholesale inventories have never been higher relative to sales ever. And that's also a sign of recession. And if it weren't for these 8 companies, the market would be down for 2015. They're calling them FANG and NOSH. FANG is Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Alphabet, which is Google. That's where the G comes from. NOSH, Nike, O'Reilly, Starbucks, and Home Depot. Take away those 8 stocks, and the S&P 500 would be negative for the year. That's how poor this economy is. And that brings us to what's happening down under in Australia. We've talked about Caterpillar and how bad things have been for the last 2 or 3 years. And they had this auction of heavy equipment down under. And you're more familiar with this type of equipment than I am, so why don't you take it and discuss what you're seeing there and what that means for you?
Okay, so the article is titled, What an Industrial Depression Looks Like, Photos from an Australian Heavy Machinery Auction. And I'm looking at some of these large machines. For example, Caterpillar has a machine called a 992C. It's a rubber-tired loader. Great big scoop. Looks like you could scoop up a car with this thing, with the scoop. Just grab one and scoop it up. And it was $2.9 million. So this thing has 4 tires on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 steps to climb up into the cab. 8 steps to get into the cab. This thing is tall. The wheels and tires are taller than a person, by far. This is a massive, massive machine. It was $2.9 million new, sells for $15,000. Now let's contrast that with Craigslist. Craigslist, Springfield, Missouri, has a 2008 John Deere backhoe. This John Deere backhoe is a model 310, and it's a 4-wheel drive, has air conditioning, and I'm sure this other one that we talked about has air conditioning as well. The $2.9 million Caterpillar, I'm sure that has air conditioning as well. So this is the John Deere that we're talking about is more like a toy compared to the Caterpillar. Kind of like the John Deere is more like the size I have here on the farm. Now this one on Craigslist right now is a 2008 model. So we're looking at 7 years old. 2008, it has 1,640 hours on it. If you translate 1,640 hours, and you say, well, if you were in an automobile or a light truck and you were operating it at 50 miles an hour, how many miles would that be? Well, 82,000. So it's like looking at a 7-year-old machine with 82,000 miles on it if it were a car or a light truck. This John Deere backhoe is $60,000 used. Okay. $60,000 for a tiny one that a farmer might use that could not pick up a car, with the scoop. The scoop's too small compared to this great big machine that's available in Australia at wait a second, where did I go here? I'm looking at I'm sorry. It was, wow, the numbers are changing. I'll be right back and I'll let you know what these numbers are. But absolutely staggering numbers. Yeah, was $1.4 million, now $50,000 for this machine in Australia, $60,000 for a small one in the United States. That's what happens when there's no demand. Well, I'd love to have one of those. I could dig out a pond in like 20 minutes. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
ProPure water, the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. ProPure, the most trusted name in gravity water filtration systems. With the silver-infused Pro 1G 2.0 all-in-one water filter. Helps remove and reduce over 200 contaminants. Don't purchase just any filter claiming to be certified. Get the Pro 1G 2.0, the only gravity filter with NSF 42 certification. NSF, valued and recognized for independent certification worldwide. In addition, the Pro 1G 2.0 was independently tested to meet NSF 53 and P231 standards. ProPure, easy to assemble, easy to maintain, easy to clean filters. Purchase with confidence in quality, performance, and customer service. Take advantage of our biggest holiday 25% off sale going on now. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com. Or call 800-544-3533.
There are hundreds of silver products on the market today, but there's nothing like the astonishing health benefits of the multi-patented One Silver Solution. Boost your immune system at a great price with our Silver Solution Liquid, starting at $12.95 a bottle. Now available in regular and extra strength. That's half the price of the leading competitors. Call 844-USILVER for your free catalog, or go to OneSilverSolution.com. OneSilverSolution.com. There is only one Silver Solution.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I have an important message. Right now, the highest levels of government are struggling against an inevitable crisis, but they're about to lose control. When this happens, it will rip our country apart in ways you never imagined, from where we shop to the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. A few years ago, I warned that the housing prices would collapse. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash, and they did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves. But this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all. I've posted a free video at $downfall.com. Maybe you'll disagree with my conclusions, but first you need to watch this video and see the facts for yourself. You can watch the video for free right now by going to $downfall.com. Again, that's $downfall.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Class John Ragan's with us, and so I was looking at these pictures, and I got the prices confused. So this Caterpillar 992C, this huge machine, was $2.9 million. It's now $15,000. $15,000 in Australia because it's being sold at a liquidation sale or a liquidation auction. Now, there's a bulldozer that was $900,000. It's a Caterpillar 775D. Now, Caterpillar is considered top of the line. That's as good as you can get. Well, $900,000. It's selling for $47,500. Now, that's a heck of a machine. And you can compare that to what's selling in our state here in Missouri. You can buy a little Cat D5B bulldozer. Now, this particular bulldozer is a 1983 model. It's really tiny compared to the one in Australia, and it's $20,000. So these prices are fire sale prices in Australia. Of course, the problem is you've got to get them. You got to get them back here, but these are not good signs. These are signs of collapse, as I see it, John.
Yeah, and the bargain basement there at the last one, they have a large workshop with a water tank, and I could probably do the math based on the barrel there. I'd say it's at least 1,000 gallons, if not more. $200,000 workshop with water tank, $2,000.
Yeah. Yep, and I'm looking at. It cost me way more to go to Arkansas to buy materials for our barn and bring them home than that shop with the water tank costs at fire sale prices. So, John, as Barry shuts down the coal industry in the United States, I can see these kinds of things happening here. The problem is, what kind of a business would need this size equipment? Only a country who is progressing would need this kind of equipment. And let me share another story that kind of dovetails with this. I wanted to buy some equipment for our farm shop. I was looking at lathes, metal lathes, wood lathes, grinding, grinders, all kinds of machinery here for our farm. And I found this guy who was selling equipment months ago on Craigslist. And here's what they're doing. They are going into businesses that have shut down. They are buying at auction all the equipment in one lot. They'll say, okay, we'll buy everything you got. And then they sell it by the piece. And I said, well, who's buying this stuff from you guys? There are buyers in third world countries that are really excited about buying American machinery that we no longer use to make products in America. That's where these parts are going. And these machines are going. And it's going to be really tough to get them back. Doesn't look like the United States is progressing under the last regimes that we've had here. These guys are selling us out and they're destroying our country. And they're saying, free trade is really a good thing. And instead of us making them, we'll just watch TV and smoke dope. And we'll let them make all these things. And we'll just buy them. And they can do all the hard work. And we'll watch TV. And play video games. And go to arenas where we can watch guys chase a ball. That's what we're good at. Oh, we're also good at something else. We're good at sitting in front of a computer, if we have a job, and typing in data on other people. That's what we do. We enter appointments, we schedule appointments, we enter data for medical tests and so forth. That's what we do. Insurance, banking. I was talking to a couple bankers. I ran into them in the last couple of weeks. And I said, you guys have any money at the bank? They kind of laughed. Mostly they are in the business of entering digits at their computer terminal, transferring from one conceptual account to another conceptual account. That's what bankers do. And they lend conceptual digits and charge conceptual interest. But if you don't pay them back with interest, they will seize your real property. John Ragan, I'll be right back.
KDArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the most affordable body armor period, with packages starting at $169.99 and free shipping on every order. Why would you go anywhere else? KD offers soft armor and rifle threat rated armor up to level 4. Go to KDArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Mention this ad and receive a free water purification kit for a limited time with any body armor package. Go to KDArmor.com. That's CATI Armor.com. Come and take it.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I have an important message. Right now, the highest levels of government are struggling against an inevitable crisis, but they're about to lose control. When this happens, it will rip our country apart in ways you never imagined, from where we shop to the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. A few years ago, I warned that the housing prices would collapse. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash, and they did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves. But this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all. I've posted a free video at $downfall.com. Maybe you'll disagree with my conclusions, but first you need to watch this video and see the facts for yourself. You can watch the video for free right now by going to $downfall.com. Again, that's $downfall.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sam Nussbaum with the Anthem Foundation. Premature birth is the leading cause of death of babies and disabilities for children. That's why we support the March of Dimes to help mothers have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. Join us in supporting cutting-edge research, treatment and outreach to help moms during their pregnancy and give every baby a healthy start in life. Learn how you can help at marchofdimes.org.
Thousands of people seeking home security get ripped off every day, and the home security industry wants you to believe that's your only option. They've got hordes of salesmen out there trying to scare you into signing one of their long-term contracts. You get stuck writing huge checks month after month with no way out. It's robbery by contract, and it can cost you thousands. But there's a better way to protect your home. Simply Safe Home Security. Simply Safe has no contracts. None. You'll get award-winning 24/7 protection, security professionals watching over your home, ready to instantly send police to the rescue for just $14.99 per month. That's less than half what most companies charge. Protect your home the smart way. Visit simplysafedefense.com today for an exclusive 10% offer and get a free keychain remote worth $25. Only when you go to simplysafedefense.com. simplysafedefense.com.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares Unfiltered and Untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares Untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
My name is Don Wiskin, and at 42 years old, I suffered a massive heart attack and was told I'd be on disability for the rest of my life. What did I do? I created Extendivite, a garlic and cayenne mix of 7 herbs which rebuilt my heart and gave me back my life. For over 17 years now, I have made this formula available to you so you don't have to suffer the same thing I did. Clean your blocked arteries and strengthen your heart and boost your natural immune system. I'm 60 years old now, and I still work every day. To get your Extendivite, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit heartdrop.com. Extendivite is only $69.95 for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Captain John Ragan's with us. John in Nixa, welcome.
Hi, Vin, and this is John. I just wanted to call you and let you know that I spoke with a Burlington Northern Santa Fe railroad engineer yesterday, and he said because of the EPA and how they're making the changes on the coal plants, he said that Burlington Northern has put 850 locomotives into storage because they have no need for them because they have decreased the amount of coal being moved cross country by 50%. And he says the next problem that they've ran into is that oil industry is not doing any exploratory. And he says so all of the steel and all of the well drilling equipment, he says, has pretty well all stopped. And he says so the rail industry is coming to a squealing stop with this commander-in-chief we have right now.
Yeah, I just got a call from Mike Parsons on the air. He heard me mention steel, and he said, "Hey, Vinny, you want to buy a tractor-trailer load of steel pipe, well pipe, well drilling pipe?" He said, "We can get it." He said he didn't need a whole tractor-trailer load. He thought I might want to split one with him, and and it's at fire sale prices. So these are really, really expensive pipes, and here's what we're doing with them.
What size?
In the United States, I didn't get the size. I had maybe 10 seconds before we were going back on the air. So, but you want to go in on a third of a tractor trailer load of pipe?
Well, if it's 2 inch.
No, I think it's going to be more like.
Sense.
Well, that's what we were thinking of, and that's the problem, John. I mean, it's really good fencing, and I've got a machine to drive these posts these pipes right into the ground, and weld them together and make the corners. But what we're doing is we're taking good quality well drilling pipe and we're making it into fences. We're cutting it up. It's almost like it's scrap. I mean, that's
what the military
that's a
does
country
with tanks. Brand new tanks they will cut up and.
All right, John, help me understand this. When I lived in Virginia, there was a locomotive, and it was in our little hamlet in rural Virginia. And this thing was idling for month after month after month after month. And it was built in the 1950s. This was a train locomotive, a diesel engine locomotive. And I asked the guy, why is this thing idling for, like a half a year? And I was told that once they start them, they don't shut them off because they're too hard to start.
True. Yeah, that's pretty well true.
So we're talking about a locomotive that's over a half a century old that just doesn't get shut off.
When I worked out at the railroad, the switch engine that we had, they would only run the switch engine during the night. So all the workers, there was about 200 workers out there working on cars. The locomotive sat and idled all through the 10-hour day during the day, and just sitting in one spot. And then in the when we would go home, the night shift would come in and start moving it around the tracks. And when they'd go home in the morning, they'd just park it and it'd sit there and idle all day long.
Wow. Well, let me ask you this. I believe you said there are 850 locomotives that are no longer in service.
Yes,
at
they
Burlington
actually
Northern.
shut these off. They shut them off and put them in storage.
All right. Now, what does it take to start a locomotive? A diesel locomotive.
Normally, what they do is they have to use like a pony engine. That is it's a starter, but it's a pony engine that could be like a 500 horse V8 engine that they will use to engage the engine to turn it over. Instead of using because this is a 2,500 horse diesel, and so they have to use a 500 horse gasoline engine that is with a starter bendix on it, and to start these things.
Mm-hmm. And now, is there an alignment? Is there a shaft that comes out the front of these locomotives, or out the side, or how would they bring this starter to the diesel locomotive? Is it on a truck?
It pretty well would be like on a truck, and that there would be like a PTO type shaft.
Uh-huh. Okay, and how long does it take to start one? So if John, if you were the guy to start that locomotive, and you were given the task of, okay, John, locomotive number 12 over there, would you drive over there, take this truck, start it up? How long would that take? And could you do that by yourself, or would it take a team of guys?
It would be probably a team of guys. The time that I saw one of the locomotives out at the rail yards that started, it took about 30 minutes because they had to actually, crank the engine and to get the cylinders warm enough for the diesel to start, because they're not using clean diesel. They're using, almost crude oil to start them. And so it's quite an ordeal to get them going. And when they do, they'll make lots of black smoke, and they'll finally get to chugging along, and then they'll increase the RPM.
Okay. What is your concern about these 850 locomotives that are in storage now?
Well, the thing is, I was looking at is that 50% of the coal industry, the coal that's being pushed down the rails are being shut down by the EPA because of no need of it. This is going to be jobs. This is a humongous job, killing situation. You've got this is very large industry, and how they move things from one point to another point. And when you see large industry that is just being nearly shut down, this is not a good sign for the times.
And what impact do you think that's going to have for Springfield, Missouri's coal-fired power generation plant?
Electricity is going to go up.
All right. And are you concerned about that particular plant shutting down? Do you know anything about that one?
I don't.
Okay.
I know that the Springfield said that they have switched over to natural gas for a considerable amount of their power. But, you get any kind of disruption in the system. That's why it's been good to have, coal and natural gas to be able to, switch back and forth due to the market. Whatever there is if natural gas is high and coal is cheap, you burn the coal. If coal is high and natural gas is cheap, then you burn the natural gas. That's just kind of the way a lot of the industry has been going. But because of natural gas being in more demand, now the cost of natural gas is going up, and they're not being allowed to burn the cheaper coal.
Here's one side product to burning coal. What has happened? In the last couple of decades, the ash that was the byproduct of the burning coal, there was a problem with what do we do with that. So companies have set up a sheetrock manufacturing plant right adjacent to these coal-fired power generation plants. So they would take this white ash and they would use it to make sheetrock for housing construction. So if we're going to take away the burning of coal from some of these power plants, there will be less of that material used to manufacture sheetrock. Now, I'm not saying it's a good idea to use sheetrock that's made out of fly ash, but that's what has been happening. So there are a lot of repercussions and dominoes that are set to fall as a result of this, and I can tell you that I have seen fewer and fewer train loads of coal going parallel to Interstate 44 in our neck of the woods. Well, what I'm saying is Springfield, Missouri, 50 miles away. I don't see as many trains going by with coal in them. Is that something that you've noticed as well, John?
Well, I've not been down Highway the 60 corridor and the Highway 44 corridor where a lot of the train traffic is, but I'm just going by what the locomotive engineer was telling me yesterday.
Okay, so that means locomotives are in storage. That also means that there'll be less repairs on the train cars, right? Doesn't it mean overall, overall job loss in the rail industry?
Yes, yeah. See, several years ago, the train industry was almost bankrupt, and then during the Bush administration, the rail had kind of picked back up and had rehired a lot of the people that they had laid off. I know that I was working on the rail in the rail system back during the Clinton era, and that's why I'm no longer in the rail. But then by the time the Bush administration came in, the rail started picking back up again. And but now during the Obama administration, now you can see that it's very obvious the rail industry is starting to fail again.
And back in the 70s, I thought there's absolutely no way our government would allow the railroads to shut down. No way, because of the strategic defense capabilities that the rail industry provides. Because sometimes you just can't ship things any other way because they're just so heavy. And I thought the rail was the way to go.
You know, everybody thinks about how much fuel a locomotive might run. The thing is, that one locomotive can pull 2 miles of train cars. And with the enormous amount of tonnage, you know, it's actually, they're able to move, move a per ton of cargo is just pennies, you know, that per ton, per mile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I once asked an engineer how much fuel he used for a 300-mile trip in Virginia, and he said he could pull his train 300 miles with 500 gallons of fuel. And it may seem like that's a lot, but that would be pulling about 100 cars, which is 100 train cars, which you can't get a tractor trailer 100 tractor trailers to go 300 miles on 500 gallons of fuel. It's impossible. They get like 5.5, 6 miles per gallon. So, yeah, it really is efficient. And so a lot of it has to do with the level tracks and the steel wheels where there's, reduced friction compared to rubber tires on roads. John Dollarhide, anything else you want to share with us?
No, I'm good.
Hey,
stay dry.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, it's raining like crazy. Thanks so much for calling in. John Ragan, I'll be right back after, more commercials. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Just recently, we've witnessed some of the most catastrophic disasters in history. Be sure to prepare yourself with great-tasting, high-quality, GMO-free food that has a 25-year shelf life. Of course, we're talking about the foods from SurvivalFoodAlliance.com. And don't forget, the human body needs up to 3 quarts of water every day to remain healthy and hydrated. So check out our water bricks at SurvivalFoodAlliance.com. Go to SurvivalFoodAlliance.com or call 877-223-1776.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At ContractorExam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, ContractorExam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.ContractorExam.com today.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
We use mobile devices right against our bodies every day, but growing scientific evidence has emerged showing serious health risks associated with exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The solution is Defender Shield, the most effective mobile radiation shielding ever developed. Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation from cell phones, tablets, and laptops, and starts at just $64.99. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. For 10% off, use promo code GCN. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in mobile radiation shielding.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS? Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely. We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Captain John Ragan's with us. John, I want to share an email I got. It was titled Emergency by one of our loyal class. Okay, there it is. It says, there. Hope I have your attention. Did you get the articles I sent you about the murder of the Idaho rancher Jack Yantis by sheriff's deputies? Sheriff called him down to the highway to dispatch his 2,400-pound bull that had been hit by a car. The car was totaled and the occupants injured as the bull rolled over the top of the vehicle, crushing it. As Yantis approached, he was met at the scene by deputies using his bull for target practice, causing more harm to his already dying bull, filling its lungs with blood. Yantis approached the bull, drew his gun from only a few feet away, and one of the deputies grabbed the scope on Yantis' gun, spinning Yantis around, causing the firearm to discharge into the ground. The deputies immediately fire upon Yantis, killing him in front of his wife, nephew, and other spectators. His wife ran to him to assist him. The deputies wrestled her to the ground, handcuffing her, causing her to have heart failure. No kidding. She celebrated her 63rd birthday in the hospital. The nephew was also trying to get to Yantis and was wrestled to the ground and handcuffed as well. And wouldn't you know, the body cams and dash cams were off of the Leos. The body cams and dash cams of the Leos, that's law enforcement officers, were not working at the time. Witnesses state that the deputies were strutting around like proud peacocks after this happened. Who takes care of the Yantis ranch, which was his livelihood now? How will his wife manage that? While the Yantis family has mom in the hospital, dad dead, and a ranch unattended, these deputies are out on paid vacation. From what you've said about local Leos, Vincent, this could happen to you and your wife. It's ridiculous and tragic all at the same time. I'm going to get my own dash cam. Take care. And it's signed one of our students. Now, Mrs. Finelli and I are 63 years old. And these kinds of events are absolutely out of control. And I'll tell you what we're doing. We have moved all our cows close to the farm. There are these crazed hunters that are driving up and down our dirt road looking for deer. And they're asking us, hey, you have any deer around here? And you know what? In this case, we're not answering them exactly. We're not telling them exactly the situation. Okay? We don't want them to believe that there are deer here. And we are patrolling our farm with ARs and 45s. We are. We have had shots fired on our farm from the road. It's unacceptable. We consider those shots fired toward us as life-threatening. We are patrolling our farm, and we've moved the cows so that they are closer to the farmhouse. And we are out with them many times during the day, and we're patrolling our road. We're not going to allow hunters to poach on our farm. It will not happen. Farmers, I hope you're paying attention to this, because the same thing is probably happening at your farm, and cows are being stolen. There's even a theft of oil out of the ground in Texas because of the lack of jobs. Crude oil is being stolen with tanker trucks. Crude oil is being sold at $10 a barrel. John Ragan?
And getting into the transportation industry again, there's a link in the employment section where the world's largest shipping company is getting rid of 4,000 jobs because of falling demand. Like I say, it's not just the United States, it's worldwide. And I encourage you to get to the Fukushima section on your own since we're out of time.
John Ragan, thank you so much for being with us. And there's not much good news out there. Please, class, please talk to your entire family. Do not buy trinkets for Christmas. Only things that are durable, only things that will last, only things that will help you survive. What's coming is really messy, and we'd like to see all of you on the other side. Class, above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next? It's up to you. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Thousands of people seeking home security get ripped off every day, and the home security industry wants you to believe that's your only option. They've got hordes of salesmen out there trying to scare you into signing one of their long-term contracts. You get stuck writing huge checks month after month with no way out. It's robbery by contract, and it can cost you thousands. But there's a better way to protect your home. Simply Safe Home Security. Simply Safe has no contracts. None. You'll get award-winning 24/7 protection. Security professionals watching over your home, ready to instantly send police to the rescue for just $14.99 per month. That's less than half what most companies charge. Protect your home the smart way. Visit simplysafedefense.com today for an exclusive 10% offer and get a free keychain remote worth $25. Only when you go to simplysafedefense.com. simplysafedefense.com.